Hey everybody, so I'm back again with another recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 2, episode 10. If you're wondering why my face is fully beat, it's because I just got home from church, and that's usually the one day of the week that I wear a full face of makeup, and I went ahead and decided to film while I still had it on, so that's why. Don't get used to this face. Second thing, my voice is pretty much back to normal. I'm at about 80%, I would say. It's still a little bit hoarse if I yell or talk too loud. Or try to sing really high notes, but I'm like at a T-Boz Candy Burris as far as singing goes. So we're getting back to normal. But thank you guys so much for all your health tips. You guys were so sweet giving me tips on what to do and drink honey and chamomile tea, and y'all are the best. I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad that I'm starting to sound back to my normal self. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that so that you can be notified whenever my videos drop every single week. And go ahead and give this video a like, or you can like it at the end if you agree with anything that I say. All right, let's get into the recap. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with Clint and Tracy because I did forget them last week. A lot of you were like, where were Clint and Tracy? Y'all, I just honestly forgot. I think like not having a voice kind of threw me off. And so I was trying to like hurry up and finish because I could tell that my voice was going. And so I just forgot them. I apologize. So I'm going to kind of catch you up, but you guys know their whole spiel. So they got married in Texas. They had a real like country hoedown wedding. The night after, Tracy was smoking crack and she left Clint. She took his money out of his wallet. Not all of it. She took like $100, just enough to get a couple rocks. She left the ring, but Clint has not seen Tracy since then. He flew back by himself. He's been at home. I think it's been a couple weeks now, and he has not heard from her. Last week, we saw that they got a call from a corrections facility. So we learned that Tracy had been locked up at some point in her disappearance. I feel like this whole thing with Tracy is 100% authentic. Partly because we have not seen Tracy. Like, Tracy dipped on her whole camera crew. Like, if the camera crew was following Tracy around and we had, like, footage of her, like, being separate from Clint, I might be squinting a little bit and be like, y'all, this might be a little staged. But we hadn't seen Tracy since 4 weeks ago. So I feel like this is legit. This girl is really cracked out. She is really arrested. Like, I feel like this is all real. After they get the call, this week, it starts out with Clint going to visit a lawyer to try to figure out what his plan is. I don't really know why Clint felt the need to go talk to a lawyer because we clearly see that Clint does not want to divorce his goddess. That is his baby girl. He really loves this. I don't even know if it's love or if it's just an infatuation. Whatever it is, he is attached to this woman. He is infatuated with her. He really thinks she's a goddess. Like she's a crackhead. He sees a goddess. Like he's even worse than Scott because I think Scott actually sees Lizzie for what she is. It's just his self-esteem is so low that he's like, this is the best I can do. Clint he doesn't see her as what she is. He really thinks that she's this beautiful woman who happens to have a little tiny crack problem, just a little bit. So he goes to see a lawyer, which baffles me because I'm like, you don't want to divorce her. Why are you going to talk to a lawyer? So the lawyer kind of gives him his options. They call the actual facility that they think she might have been in, ask her name, which that was a little strange to me because I used to work for a nonprofit that was like a drug rehab facility. And if people called asking about a certain person, we couldn't even tell them. We'd have to be like, we can't confirm or deny that they're here. So I didn't know that prisons just gave out people's info like that. Like I thought it would have been something that was a little bit more confidential. Like you can't just call and be like, hey, is, Sean Jackson in there? And they'd be like, yeah, he's in here. Like I would feel like it's something that they couldn't just tell, but they did. They said that they recognized her name and they said that she had actually already been released. And Clint literally jumped when he heard the word released because he has not heard from Tracy not one time. And he is literally shook. When I say shook, I mean like mentally, emotionally shook. He was physically shook when he found out that Tracy had been released and has not contacted him. So you know what? I feel like Clint is one of those guys who has like puppy love and he is going to chase his master until the end of time. Poor thing. Clint he was just smoking that cigarette. And like, whenever I see people smoking a cigarette and their cheeks sink in, I'm like, oh, you smoking that cigarette hard. Like you trying to get all the nicotine out of the cigarette. He looks, do y'all believe that Clint is 37? I'm starting to question his age. I think he lied about his age. I don't think he's 37. He just looks 52. Like, I don't understand how he's 37. He is the 52est looking 37-year-old I ever seen. But he acts like I said this the first episode. He is so strange because he acts like a teenager. He looks 57 and he says he's 37. I don't know. Tracy is in the wind. Tracy is chasing her addiction. She's not studying Clint at all, and he's not going to divorce her. He's not going to divorce her. It's just plain and simple. He is going to chase her. He's going to be one of those people like on intervention who enables their addict girlfriend or wife. He is going to chase her to the ends of the earth. You know, he said that he didn't want to be at her beckoning and call. His words, not mine. He still thinks that she's beautiful, and he's like, oh, she thinks just because she's pretty that I'm going to come chasing after her. You are. First of all, she's not pretty. Stop saying that, Clint. Like, if Clint calls Tracy pretty, Tracy literally looked like straight up Beetlejuice when she came out of that hotel room that first night that they... Oh my God, my hair just jumped in my eye. That first night that they spent together, she literally looked like Beetlejuice. And I'm not exaggerating. She scared me. And if he calls her beautiful, one more... Like, I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But, you know, say beautiful soul, something else, because she is not outwardly beautiful. Let's just keep it 100. He thinks that she's pretty and that she, like, I guess he thinks she's going to go, like, find some other man to pay. I don't know what Clint thinks, but he needs to stop. But he's not going to. He's going to keep chasing Tracy. He will be at her beckoning and call, just like he said he wouldn't. He will be. I don't believe him for a second. He's infatuated and he's going to keep chasing her. Anytime somebody tries to tell him he needs to end the marriage, he breaks out crying. Clint ain't going nowhere. He's going to be going from crack house to crack house trying to find his goddess. But that's basically it for Clint and Tracy. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is Matt and Caitlin. So this week we learned that Caitlin got a job, y'all. I was so proud of her. I was excited because y'all know I kind of ragged on her a little bit last week. I called her semi-trash because she didn't have a job and she wanted Matt to go out and get a job. But a homegirl came through. Okay, her friend hooked her up with a job at an accounting firm. I was like, Caitlin, do you have benefits, girl? Do you have paid time off? I am just a girl. I am ecstatic. I was so proud of Caitlin for going out there and setting the example for Matt and getting a job. So y'all, you know what? Now, Caitlin's just too good for him. Like, she's too good for him now. She needs to go out and find another man who is willing to work and willing to love her and take care of her because she's too good for Matt now. She has a job. Okay, she's trying to get an apartment. She's trying to get out of his mom's house. The staying at the mom's house, Caitlin only did temporarily because her mom did not want a felon living in her house. Caitlin never intended for them to stay there. It was a temporary thing. She thought that once Matt got out, got a job, she got a job, they could go and live their lives together and start making a bunch of babies, which why you would want to have a bunch of babies with a meth head is beyond me, but that's Caitlin's business, not mine. She goes to see this cute little apartment. The apartment looked nice. I mean, it was a nice apartment. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I thought it was a nice apartment for them two. Like, I'm not saying it was like, you know, luxurious, but like when you're trying to get on your feet and just starting out for a starter place, that apartment was nice. You keep it clean, you pay your rent on time, you're good to go. Caitlin was supposed to meet Matt there. Where Matt is, I don't know. Like, where are you? Like, you don't work nowhere, so I don't understand why Caitlin and Matt aren't together going to see this apartment. Like, where Matt apparently is somewhere in the streets. He was supposed to meet her there. He's late, so she just looks at the apartment on her own. She loves it. She's talking to the apartment manager, the property manager, whoever this man was, and Matt rides up with his friend, and his friend was like, so where do you need me to take you now? Matt is sitting in that passenger side of his best friend's ride with a new coat, like new hat, like everything Matt had on looked new. I'm like, did y'all just come from the mall? Did y'all just come from Foot Action? Did y'all just come from the Nike store? Like, Matt looked nice. Like, Matt's clothes look new and fresh and clean. I swear to God, I'm like, did y'all just come from shopping? Matt already has kind of a stank attitude about going to look at the apartment. He's like, man, Caitlin want me to meet her at some house. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, well, where is he? He's like, I don't even know. It's just some house. Like, no, Matt's attitude was so stank this week. Like, I wanted to reach through the TV and choke him. Finally, he gets there. He walks in. He's being real rude. You know, he walks around. The guy's like, you want me to show you around? He's like, yeah, sure. You know, he walks through. He doesn't say really much of anything. Caitlin's trying to like be excited. Like, look, you can see the water from the bedroom. And Matt's like, yeah, whatever. He's not enthusiastic about it. Caitlin doesn't understand. So the apartment manager leaves them to talk amongst themselves. And, Caitlin's basically like, okay, so let's do this. He's like, do what? And Caitlin's like, let's move out of your mom's house and let's be adults. We're going to get jobs. We're going to be grown. Like, Caitlin's 32. He's 28. It's time. Like, it's time. We got to step out there. Matt basically is afraid to fly. He is afraid to leave the nest. He doesn't want to do it because he knows that once he gets a job and once he starts working and having to pay rent, that people are going to expect things from him. And he does not want people to expect anything from him. Because the minute people start expecting things from you, then you have to perform all the time on a consistent basis. And Matt's just not ready for that. So he decided to act like a little bratty 3-year-old and have a bratty attitude about looking at this apartment. He's like, well, I don't even know where I am. Well, I don't even know where this is. And I don't want to live here. And Caitlin's like, why are you acting like this? Like, your energy's off. Like, I don't appreciate this. Like, Caitlin seems so distraught, but I'm like, girl, your boyfriend is a jailbird meth head. And he's not even a jailbird meth head who's like trying to turn his life around. He's like just a jailbird meth head who doesn't mind going back to prison. So I feel like she wants more for him than he wants for himself. And when you get with people like that and you want more for them than they want for themselves, that will drain the life out of you. You cannot want more for someone than they want for themselves and keep trying to get them to want more for themselves on a continual basis and them not do it or not see it. It's going to drain the life out of you. You got to cut the ties with those kind of people. And that's what Caitlin needs to do. She needs to cut the ties and she even said herself, like, Matt's selling himself short. He doesn't want to step out and do things because he doesn't think he can do them. And I'm like, well, are you going to be dragged down with him then because of that? Like, how long are you going to wait for this guy to get it together? He seems like he has absolutely no desire to step up to the plate and be the man that you want him to be. So I would say cut all ties. She should have cut them long ago. She's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, give him a chance, but it's not working. It's not getting through to him. He's making up dumb excuses for why he doesn't want the apartment. Like, nobody knows where their apartment is when you move there. Yeah, I don't know where I am. You'll get to know the neighborhood once you start living there. Like, it's a new neighborhood. Like, do you have to know where you are to live there? Like, it was dumb. It was dumb, and he doesn't want to work. He knows that if they get that apartment, he's going to have to work. He's going to have to be a responsible adult. He don't want to do that. He wants to smoke meth and hula hoop all night with his meth head friends in the meth house. And Caitlin, that's not the kind of man you need. I had this little scene where Caitlin was trying on wedding dresses. Despite all of this, she still wants to marry this man. You know what? You dumb. You know what? Go ahead and marry him. Go ahead. Go ahead and marry him and marry meth head, have a meth head marriage and have little meth head babies. That's it for Matt and Caitlin. She'd have made me mad at sitting here. I ain't got nothing else to say. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is Scott and Lizzie. So we kind of pick up right where we left off last week, where Jasmine has kind of stormed off. She is upset about finding out that her mom and Scott are now engaged. And Lizzie and Jasmine have a long conversation in their hotel room about what is going to happen in the future with this engagement. Jasmine is still in the pretense that she is against it. She asked her mom, why did you say yes to him? Why do you love him? And here's my thing. Look, let's stop playing around and acting like Lizzie and Scott are in love with each other. Okay? Like, I don't agree with Jasmine because Jasmine really wants her mom to leave Scott because she's like, oh, you need to focus on getting your life in order and getting yourself together and spending time with me. You don't need this man. But what Jasmine fails to realize is that getting her life in order, Scott is doing all of those things by providing the funds to do them. She's like, oh, you need to worry about getting a place, getting a car, getting your life together, and spending time with me. Place, Scott's providing that. Car, Scott has provided that. So you want her to sever from the man who is providing her with more than half of the things she needs to get her life together. And somehow, like, well, who's going to give her all those things? You? Like, Jasmine, you're 19. You don't have anything. Like, I mean, Scott doesn't have anything either, but Jasmine needs to chill. Like, her mom is grown, Scott is grown, and even if you don't agree with the engagement, let it go. Like, she's fighting so hard for her con artist mother, and I just don't understand it. Like, Scott is providing all the things that she needs in order to better her life, so let her con her sugar daddy. That's exactly what she's known. That's exactly what she's been doing. That's what she's good at. Just let her go. Let her continue. I don't understand why she's so against this engagement. Who cares? The other thing that I hate about their whole exchange was that Lizzie's trying to still pretend as if her and Scott are like in love or like getting to know each other. Like, well, he's been there for me. He's a good man and he's kind. And I've never had a good man before. All the other men have just wanted to use my body and treat me like trash. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Scott might be a nice man. And yes, he might be better than the other men that you have dated, like who may have abused you or used you. But let's call a spade a spade. You're not with Scott because he's a kind man, because he loves you, because he's been there. You're with him because he has given you in total $90,000 over 3 years to fund your commissary, your drug habit, and whatever else you needed. He has promised you a place to live, a car, and to take care of you upon exiting prison. And that is why you are engaged to Scott. Let's just say what it is, Lizzie. Lizzie's trying to act like this is some fairy tale love story. It ain't. All right, this is an engagement of convenience, and there's nothing wrong with that. People do it all the time, girl. There are plenty of women who are married to men right this second, maybe watching this video, that are married to a man or engaged to a man or living with a man or dating a man who provides nothing other than financial security, and that's okay. Just admit it. Like, I'm so sick of her trying to spin it like she loves Scott. You don't love Scott, Lizzie. Stop. You don't love him. Okay, yeah, he's a nice man. Like, he probably won't dot your I. Like, great, that's a plus. But it boils down to him financially supporting her. That is the only reason that she's with him. It irks my nerve every time she has a conversation with Jasmine, and Jasmine asks her, why are you with him? Why do you like him so much? And she just dances around it as if they're really in love, like they are Romeo and Juliet, and like their kids just want them to. Girl, bye. You are with him because of financial security, and that's it. Like, there are no other reasons. None. You are not physically attracted to him. You can't look me in the eye, Lizzie, and tell me you are physically attracted to Scott. No way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not falling for it. I don't believe Lizzie for a second. I know why she's really with Scott. She knows why she's really with Scott. Jasmine fails to understand why she's really with Scott and really wants her to leave her meal ticket. I'm like, girl, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. No. You stay. And I think Jasmine needs to mind her own business. Her mama is a grown woman, and I think that she can be engaged to whoever she wants. And the other thing that bothered me is Jasmine gave her an ultimatum and was like, Scott or me, choose. And I'm like, she shouldn't have to choose. First of all, y'all can be in her lives for two totally separate reasons. Like, Scott is a romantic financial thing. And then you're her daughter, which is a whole separate relationship. I don't understand why she has to choose. Jasmine is a damaged soul because she grew up without her mom. And I feel for her. Don't take me saying this as I don't feel for her. I think she needs therapy and counseling to learn how to deal with her mother in the state that her mother is in, instead of trying to force her mother to do what she wants her mom to do. And Jasmine needs to mind her own business. Then later, Scott and Adam have a conversation about, moving forward with Lizzie and their relationship. And so Adam comes in the room, and Scott is literally asking him which bow does he like, because he's like, oh, I bought Lizzie a car. Which bow? And Adam's like, I don't care about the bow. How much did the car cost? Like, and Scott kind of dances around it. Basically, Scott admits that he is Baroque, honey. He has maxed out every credit card. He has like 6 credit cards. He has so much debt. He is about to file bankruptcy. He is in debt up to his eyeballs. Like, the water level is rising, and he is just gasping for air at this point financially. Lizzie has drained him dry, and he is scared that once the money runs out, Lizzie won't be there. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So Scott's days are numbered as far as his relationship with Lizzie. I want to give Lizzie the benefit of the doubt and say that she's going to stay with Scott, even though she finds out he's in debt up to his eyeballs. But we all know the truth. Lizzie will jump ship to the next sugar daddy or Splenda daddy, whoever can give her the funds that she needs to live the lifestyle that she wants to live. And Scott will be out of the picture. So he doesn't want to tell her because deep down he knows that that's exactly what's going to happen. So he's trying to bide his time and keep it a secret. It's not going to end well. He needs to just go ahead and tell her what's up so she can go on by her way. It'll be a cleaner breakup if he goes ahead and tells her now. That's pretty much it for Scott and Lizzie. So let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is Brittany and Marcelino. I had an epiphany this week with Brittany and Marcelino. They have swapped gender roles. So typically the man is the one who is the player, who kind of wants to have an open relationship, wants to bring other women into the relationship, have threesomes. And the woman is usually the one who's like, I don't really want to do that, but I'll do it for you. That's how Brittany and Marcelino are. And I'm not saying all men and all women, but that's typically when it happens. That's how it happens. That's how Brittany and Marcelino are. Brittany is the man role where she is a player. Brittany has such good game that she is playing Amanda and Marcelino like Game Boys, and neither of them, well, Amanda did kind of wise up this week, but Marcelino still hasn't kind of caught on to how much he's getting played. So all three of them decide to meet and go out to dinner. They're riding in the car. Brittany's driving. Marcelino's in the passenger seat. And Marcelino always has this complex about people like coming at him with hostility. First of all, nobody's coming at you with hostility. He did the same thing when they went to go meet her ex, Tio. Like he already had this air of like, we're going to fight. Like, I know he wants to fight me. Like, dude, don't nobody want to fight you. It's just a dinner. Just chill. Marcelino always has this hostile energy. Like he leads with hostility and it bothers me. Like, chill out, dude. You don't need to be mean to her. She hasn't done anything wrong. Like Brittany's already sweetening Marcelino up to Amanda because Brittany's goal for the end of the night is for everybody to go back home together and have a threesome, which threesome to them really means like her and Amanda have sex and Marcelino kind of watches or like maybe touches a boob here and there. But yeah, that's Brittany's goal at the end of the night. So she's trying to sweeten up Marcelino to Amanda, trying to get them to get along and like each other just enough that they'll all go have sex together. When Amanda gets there, they sit down, they eat, belly dancer comes out, all kind of foolishness. And so Amanda starts basically spilling all the tea on her and Brittany's relationship, saying how in prison that her relationship and Marcelino's relationship with Brittany overlapped. Everything that Amanda said, Brittany contradicted it. Basically, Amanda said that their two relationships overlapped, that she was talking to them at the same time. Brittany said, no, I moved to a different facility. I never talked to you two at the same time. I broke up with Amanda, and then I met you. Amanda said that Brittany was dating 2, 3, 4 women in the prison at the same time. Brittany said, no, I wasn't doing that. People in prison talk. Is I believe everything Amanda said because Brittany is a player. I told you she's the female version of Michael, so I feel that she will lie to say anything. I didn't believe a word that Brittany said, and I believe everything Amanda said. I do think that their relationships overlapped. I do think that Brittany was dating multiple women in the prison because we see Brittany's dating multiple people outside of prison. She's trying to date Amanda and also Marcelino for the security and the financial security and a place to stay. And he's got her a phone and all that stuff. So she knows how to play the game. She knows how to work it, and she is working it. They're not getting anywhere with Brittany and Marcelino. She's like, I want to go smoke a cigarette. And Amanda, they both go outside to smoke a cigarette and they have this conversation. And Brittany's like, just, come home with me. Aren't you going to come home with me? She is just playing Amanda. Amanda's holding strong. Amanda's like, nah, I'm not coming home with you. Forget that. And then after a few minutes, Marcelino comes out and Marcelino's like, look, I don't know you, and I don't know if I'm ready to have another person in our relationship. Like, he really wants Brittany. He says that his number one goal is to protect her and make sure she doesn't go back to prison, which he's Captain Save-A-Hole. So that's his goal. His goal is not to love her, to cherish her, to support her. His goal is to protect and make sure she doesn't go back to prison. So basically, Marcelino sees Brittany as a mission. He's a Marine. He feels that he got orders passed down from his captain or sergeant or whoever, and he is on a mission. And the mission target is to not let Brittany go back to prison. So it's a real weird situation. Brittany wants to have women. Marcelino only sees her as a mission to accomplish. It's weird, and they're weird. I think Brittany needs to go on and be a lesbian like she want to be. If you want to talk to women, go on talk to women. Like, Amanda is shocked that she's even talking to a man. She's like, you don't even like dick. Why are you talking to him? Like, I'm shocked that you're even talking to him. And I believe her. I believe everything Amanda said in this episode. I don't think that Brittany likes men. I think Brittany is a straight up lesbian. She says that she's bisexual. I think that she uses men as a means to an end because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, men have what you need, which is house, money, support. So you need to like dick for a little while in order to get those things from a man. But really, Brittany is a full-blown lesbian. I think that she loves women. And I think that she uses men, but she wants women. So that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to use Marcelino to get the things she needs, like somewhere to stay, money, phone, maybe a job, to get up in the world, get on her feet. And I think that she wants to have sex with Amanda and have a romantic relationship with Amanda because she really loves women. And that's really what she wants. So Marcelino says, Brittany needs to set the boundaries in the relationship. I don't really want a woman to come into our bedroom. I'm not ready for that. But Brittany has to be the one to set the boundaries. And Brittany's like, oh, I gotta set the boundaries. And he's like, yeah, it has to be you. And she's like, okay, bet. I bet. And she leans over and starts kissing Amanda. Marcelino is shocked, and he kind of looks like he was like turned on by it. But deep down, Marcelino does not want this. He's not the type of man who's going to share Brittany. And this is bad. Like I said, the whole goal of this evening is to sweeten them up to each other so that we can all go home together. Amanda finally gets fed up with it and she dips. She goes to her car. They go back in the restaurant and Brittany's like, I need to say goodbye. We can't end it like this. She runs out to catch Amanda, tries to convince her to come home with them. She's like, you can't leave like this. Aren't you going to come home and sleep with me? And she's like, no. And I was so proud of Amanda for standing up to Brittany, because I feel like Brittany has been a player so long and she's always gotten her way. I feel like she's always been able to seduce people, trick, and, get people to do what she wants them to do, especially sexually. I feel like Brittany has a really strong game. Like, she's just good at it. And Amanda stood her ground and was like, no, like, I'm not going to go have sex with you and your boyfriend. I want you. I don't want him. I'm out. So Brittany didn't get what she wanted. She really wanted that threesome to happen. You know what I think that threesome would have been like? You remember the episode of Friends where they had like the what if, and they went back and was like, oh, what if Ross never divorced Carol? And then like Ross, Carol, and Susan had a threesome and they were like kicking Ross out of the bed. Like, that's exactly what that threesome would have been like, because Brittany is a lesbian. Brittany and Amanda would have been going at it. Marcelino would have been watching. But that's it for Brittany and Marcelino and Amanda. Let's move on to the last couple. But definitely not least is Michael, Megan, and Sarah. So this week we pick back up with Michael has left Megan and he is on his way home back to New York to be with Sarah. Sarah and her friend, I can't remember her name, but she's red hair, tattoos, kind of buff. I like her. She is consoling Sarah. Sarah's been crying and sick and she's pregnant now, and just all kinds of just foolishness has been going on with them. She's talking about how Michael's been gone for 2 days. She has not heard from him. All of a sudden, Michael just waltzes in the door. Homegirl, the friend, was like, I can't believe this. Like, so Sarah and Michael are going at it, arguing. Michael acts as if he doesn't want to argue with her and he doesn't want any parts of an argument, because she's just he's like, I don't know why you just want to be mad for some reason. Like, somebody please shoot Michael in the kneecaps. Like, I'm so sick of him. First of all, I don't see what these women see in him. The biggest turnoff to me in a man is a man who cannot articulate words. Like, if you can't speak, like that mumble, that I don't know what you want. We are full adults. Speak. Open your mouth and talk to me. Like, we're not like 11. Like, I can't stand when people mumble. I can't stand like y'all remember that video when Offset bum rushed Cardi on stage and apologized to her and was like, I love you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That, you talking about the Sahara Desert? I dry up so, like, I can't stand a guy who cannot speak. If you articulate your words and open your mouth and talk, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not giving you the time of day. So that's the first thing about Michael that exacerbates me. It makes me so mad. He cannot even have an adult conversation with his wife about why he was missing for 2 days without calling. And he wants to know why she's on 10. So then what happened was Sarah just gets worked up. Michael is just basically just being aloof, like basically a brick sitting on the couch, not communicating. Sarah finally just says, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I'm done. And my thought was, oh my God, this is Michael's out. Like, if Sarah says she's done and she breaks up with him, then that's his out to be like, okay, well, we'll just end the marriage. You said you wanted it to be over, right? I'm thinking he's going to use this as an out. But no, Michael shows his true character, which is not what he's been telling us, that, oh, I'm just with Sarah because I'm scared she'll take my daughter away. Oh, I really, truly love Megan. I'm just with Sarah because I have to be. I don't really like Sarah. Sarah doesn't know me. I don't love her. Why wouldn't you use this as your out if you don't want to be with Sarah for real? No, Michael, you're a liar and you want both of them. I think that there is something about Sarah that Michael likes, because he had the perfect opportunity to leave. He had the perfect out of the relationship right there. Sarah had said it herself. I'm done. I'm over it. I don't want to be in this. I don't want this anymore. Like, this is done. She was done. Like, I could tell she was like, I don't want this. This is too much. And he should have been like, all right, fine, we should just get a divorce. Like, that would have been the perfect time to say that. And then he could have been like, boom, that's my out. I'm going to go be with Megan. But no, what does he do? He pulls the $22 cubic zirconia out of his pocket that he was going to propose to Megan to, puts it on Sarah's finger, kisses her, and they make up. The homegirl, the friend, was like, I'm out. He knows how to work her. She's just going to give in. He knows what to say to her, and just over it. You know what? If I was that friend, I would have even sat there and had a therapy session with them. As soon as he walked in the house, I would have been like, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I'm gonna get my purse. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm out. But she stayed and talked with them through it. So I feel like she really cares about Sarah, but Sarah doesn't care about herself. And you can't let your friends stress you out, because your friends' love lives will bring stress on you. You gotta let folks go and make their own dumb decisions. But like, why wouldn't you use that to go be with your love, your one true love, Megan? Because Sarah doesn't understand you. And she stopped trying to figure you out. First of all, how am I supposed to figure you out? You in jail. How am I supposed to figure somebody out who in jail? Who been in jail for 2... What you want me to learn? The new prison you? You want me to learn the new jailbird you? Oh, so I knew the pre-jail Michael. Now I gotta relearn the jail Michael. Like, and then what gets me is that this is what gets me about people who like leave their significant other who they've been with for years and go to somebody new and they're like, oh, this person understands me. Oh, she never yells. Oh my gosh, my wife just nags. I'm like, yeah, because your wife knows you and she's been dealing with your BS for years. Just wait till Megan really gets a taste of who you really are, Michael. Not the Prince Charming who comes and brings, flowers to hotel rooms. I mean the real you, like the dirty drawers, the musty armpits, you know what I mean? Like the real you after you marry somebody. Like, ain't nobody gonna be all lovey-dovey with you all the time. Like, don't compare Sarah, who has been with you for 6 years and has a kid with you and has been left for 2 days without hearing from you, to Megan, who you like went to a hotel room and y'all had a romantic weekend. That's what you're gonna compare? And then when you come home, you're like, see, you acting crazy. Like, Megan wasn't acting. Yeah, Megan wasn't acting like that. Not yet. Give her some time. She's going to be acting just like Sarah. And then you're going to be moving on to the next girl and doing the same thing to her. That's why we have a saying down here in the South: dance with the one that brung you. And that means the one that you started with, you stick it out with them. Because if you start switching dancing partners halfway through the dance, you're going to realize that, like, anytime somebody makes you mad, I almost switch to a new girl. Like, every new girl is nice in the first 2 months. Everybody's nice when you've never known each other outside of prison. Yeah, Megan's sweet. Y'all don't know each other. Of course she's sweet. You're talking to her representative. That's not even her. Just give her some time. I bet you if you had dated Megan as long as you dated Sarah and she had to deal with all your BS, you would be saying the same thing about Megan that you're saying about Sarah. So I don't understand why you're bouncing from girl to just pick somebody and stick it out with them. Give them your best. If you weren't cheating on Sarah, Sarah wouldn't be going off on you. If you didn't disappear for 2 days without calling her, she wouldn't be tripping. Like, you're an idiot. So fast forward, we go to Megan. Megan is distraught still because Michael is gone. She has not heard from him. She has not talked to Michael since he left her. And she is at the airport and she called her dad and said she's on her way home. But then, like, the last shot, she's like, I'm coming to see Michael regardless of what he says. He's not going to stop me this time. I had to literally rewind because it was like the end of the episode. I wasn't really paying attention. And like, I kind of heard her be like, I'm going to see him regardless. It don't matter what he says. And I was like, oh, what? You're going to see him? Like, is she going to pop up on Michael? Did I hear that correctly? So I'm thinking that Megan is going to go to Farmington, New York and pop up on Michael. I really hope that's what happens because I need this. I need Megan to see who Michael really is. Like, I feel bad for her that she gave him her virginity and then he ghosted her. Like, I know she already feels like a fool, but I need her to see who this man really is so she can stop with all this Prince Charm fairy tale that makes me want to throw up every time I hear her talk about it. Blech. But yeah, so that was it from Megan, Michael, and Sarah. And that is it for this recap. Thank you so much for staying to the end. And if you liked anything I said about these 4 couples, well, and the throuple, then go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified whenever my videos drop every single week. As I said last week, my channel is expanding. So you guys keep dropping suggestions in the comments for shows that you would like me to recap and watch. Right now in the lead is Seeking Sister Wives / Sister Wives, like anything to do with with like polygamy is in the lead right now. I've had a few marriage boot camps. I've had a few housewives. The thing about the housewives I'm a little apprehensive is because the housewives had like 56 seasons, and some of them I've never seen not a single episode. Atlanta, I know them pretty well. Beverly Hills, I know them a little bit. I saw some people suggesting New York, and I have heard that New York is the best, but I don't know them. And I would hate to jump in on like season 22 where I don't know the history of the women. So I'm a little apprehensive about the housewives, but keep giving me suggestions. I'm still deciding. Like I said, soon as March hits, I'm going to start doing new shows. And also I have made a decision on the Ask Nikki P. I'm going to go ahead and do Instagram DMs. So my Instagram is at NICHIP_1990. I'm going to put it in the description bar, and it's also going to come across the screen so that you guys can start sending me your questions. Also, those videos won't drop until March, but I'm going to go ahead and read the questions, film the videos, and I'll edit them as I can, and then I'll get those out to you. It's just a fun little addition to the channel, something to kind of get different viewers, people who might not watch the shows that we watch and might just want to hear some advice. It could be a relationship, it could be a situation at work, it could be a family situation. If there's drama in your family, it could be anything that you think that I would have a good opinion on and what I think that you should do. And it doesn't mean you have to do it, but it's going to be my opinion, and I feel like I have a good opinion, and I'm very objective, and I'll give you something real neutral. And yeah, and like I said, no identities will be revealed in these. I will keep everything anonymous. So go ahead and send me your questions to my Instagram DMs, and I can't wait to start answering those. So yeah, that's how my channel's changing in 2019. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You do not understand how much I appreciate it every time you watch me every single week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week in the recap. Bye.